Welcome back to Bits of an Artist's Life. This is Sandy Hester. In today's video, we're doing a sketchbook tour, and it's kind of a neat one because it's the first one I have finished of this kind. I am going to be giving you a tour of this jumbo Moleskine sketchbook. I have 3 of these going. This is the first one that I've finished, and it spans from 2021 to 2023. So lots of time. I love the work in here. I'm excited to share it with you. And it's just kind of a different way of working, being able to use your arm a little more to get into it for bigger sketches. It's a hunker to carry around with you. I don't think I took it out on location very much, but now that I remember some of the sketches, I did. It's a good mix of like studio work and out on location work. It's also a real mix of still life, landscape, figurative, birds, all the things that I usually paint. It's all in here. I'm gonna have a link below of this particular sketchbook. Moleskine has lots of different papers in their sketchbooks. I love this paper. It's very, very similar to the Royal Talons art creation sketchbook that many of us love. I almost like this paper just a tiny bit better. I feel like it holds up a little bit more, but it is more expensive. These sketchbooks right now are crazy town expensive. Well, they've always been expensive. So it can make it hard to want to work in them. I have a small memory, and so I forget how expensive they are. I think on Blick, I'm gonna put the link below. Okay, well that was very rude. My camera died on me. Well, actually the memory card was filled up. Okay, what was I saying? I think I was saying something about the paper in this sketchbook. I'm going to put the link to Blick down below, so that way you have the information. You know exactly what the sketchbook's called, what the size is, all of that. Definitely feel free to get it from Blick. I think you can also just look around. Amazon, sometimes I find it cheaper on Amazon, and depending on where you are in the world, you may have to look around. Let's see, is there anything else I want to tell you about this? I don't think so. So let's jump into it and take a look at this jumbo sketchbook tour. I'm excited to share the sketchbook with you. It is ginormous. This is my Moleskine, I think it's called Art Creations Collection, the series. It's smooth paper. I love the smooth pages and that they're cream. This spans a couple of years, so that's going to be fun. You see I've written down here one Santa Fe, all the sketchbooks that I did Santa Fe paintings in. I've been putting something so I can find it quickly. This sketchbook has the gamut of medium, everything from oil pastels. In fact, this very first one here is oil pastels. I love this. I can tell that I sprayed this. Well, I think I did. It's kind of coming off of my fingers. With fixative, and at first it seemed like it was kind of sticky, but I'm really surprised at how well it has held up and not squished together. I think as I look at this, those flowers back there, probably some of my favorite part of this, though I do love the line work of it. It does make me want to go grab my oil pastels, if I'm honest, which I think is successful. I also love how, like, sometimes when you're using oil pastels, I like them to get dirty and then they pull color around. Like this right here. Oof, I love that. These next couple are from an Emma Carlisle Patreon session. No, this one was not. No, this one was not. I don't know what this was from. I just painted this and I love this. This guy's little face makes me so happy. I don't think this is from Emma Carlisle's June 17th. No, it's not. It was just something I painted. I can tell I painted it very quickly, very, very loose, and I just love it. It's one of my favorites in here. Now, this is an Emma Carlisle Patreon session. We were doing very quick, timed drawing. I can't even remember how long we had for each one of these. Not very long, but they were all our animals. And it was super fun to work, really big. I used acrylic paint here. Close up of that bunny's face. So cute. This is that same series, another bunny. I did a painting from these on canvas that sold quite quickly. Maybe more than one, I can't remember, but I know my friend Michael has one of these. But whew, I love this. It reminds me how working big and loose is so nice. Look at this leg right here. With the transparency of that. It's those kinds of things that make me really happy. Oh, so this was 10 minutes. Kind of looks like a 2-minute if you ask me. I can't believe that was 10 minutes. I probably didn't spend the whole 10 minutes. A raven. I've always enjoyed using like writing and lettering in my work. And I'm doing a series right now, or at least one painting that, I don't know if it'll turn into a series, but where I'm putting some writing, because sometimes I want to express some things in words, not just in paintings. I mean, like in a painting. This was a page that I prepped, and I remember I was going to build layers on top of these. I don't remember what I was going to do with them, but I got bored and stopped. This is another acrylic painting. This goes all the way back to, my still life days when I was doing a ton of still life. I really like this blue, and I can tell I was using a big like painter brush, like a really, really cheap brush that you would use like paint walls with, and that's how I got all this scratchy, loose marks. I did the entire thing with, actually let me grab one, I'll show you. With a brush like this, and you can see how scraggly. So that's fun to do something like that and get different marks. Another still life. I can tell I overworked this a little. I may have used oils. I can't, no, probably not, but maybe. And this was acrylic, and I was just doing very, very loose abstract flowers. I think I did a bunch of these on paper also. Another still life. I love the moodiness of this one with the green. I also love looking at some of these objects and like, I don't know, so many of them are so familiar to me. Like these are my clippers for flowers and herbs. And this basket. I haven't noticed this in a long time, but I love that, what is that, onion? I wonder if looking at this is going to make me want to get back into still lifes. I bet I'll paint a still life later today. Okay, this is another Emma Carlisle Patreon session. I put 15 minutes, but there's no way I spent 15 minutes on this right here. I don't remember what this session was about, but I remember really struggling with this image right here. Yeah, I put that I didn't finish it, so I gave up. It's interesting now to look at these figures and to see how far I've come with my figures. I did a video the last video that I did was on self-portraits and how I've been using myself, like looking at myself in a mirror to paint figures. And when I think about those figures and then see this, it kind of cracks me up. But that's what practice will do for you. This was a very loose painting I did. I think I was using mainly inks. And it's of our house, a tree that's in our yard and the path that goes out to the pond that we have. And this was probably the early days of me trying to figure out landscape and how to do it loose. This was some sketches I was working on. I was working on a nativity painting. At Christmas, I will often do a nativity painting or two. I'll do sometimes a series. And I think I was working out some figures here. Zacchaeus, oh my gosh, he is so funny. He's pretty cute. Oh, this guy's cute too, look at him. So cute. Somebody bought that year's nativity. Grady thought my faces weren't like my normal loose faces, so I thought I would practice here and see if I could get them any better. Oh, that's funny. I must have done a painting and he was like, oh, this doesn't look like you. Look, young Zacchaeus. Or a king, put a crown on him and he'd be a handsome king or wise man. That's what I wrote there. He is cute. Look at that mustache. It looks like he should have a cigar in his mouth or something. Okay, this is Emma Carlisle's Patreon session. I can't remember what these kind of figures are called when they're like animals, but they have like human stuff. But this was really hard. think this was that same session, and I did not like how this turned out at all. I remember not liking it then, and I don't like it now either. And then this, oh yeah, Grady and I went up to our church. He had a meeting, and I went up to a room and just painted the view from our church. I used watercolor here. Art group. Oh yeah, this was done with a small group of friends that we would meet on Zoom and paint together. I remember not liking this, and they loved it, but I do like it now. I used all kinds of stuff in this. Yeah, I do like those boats. I went through a boat season a long time ago. I like those houses in the back too, actually. I mean, it's not how I would render things right now, but I like it. Then this was a Sarah Dyer Patreon session. I love this page. We were painting and drawing like vintage toys. Oh my goodness, so much of this I love. Like that robot guy, that chick and bunny. Oh my goodness. I was using acrylics here. Look at the fire chief. Oh, I love how I rendered the figures in there. Good job, Sandy. Wow. That is a fun page. Love. Love, love, love. Same session. Okay, I keep getting text. My thing keeps beeping, so I'm gonna put this on focus for an hour so people leave me alone. Okay, what was the same? I think I was gonna fill this some more with that session, and then I think I petered out. I got a little tired. This was the beginning of that landscape season, and what's funny is I remember this lake that I used to go to, and I ended up getting kicked out because it's some like place where only fishermen can go. And anyways, Grady ended up calling like the government, and anyways, it makes me think of all of that, which is so funny. It's not a good painting, but it's so funny the memories that this brings back. I just have glassine paper. Sometimes I use glassine paper or wax paper or just paper to put in between pages, because this is done with soft pastels. And so it gets messy. Here's another one at that same lake. I actually really like the abstractness of this a lot. Yeah, that was in the early days of like, I don't know what I'm doing. Not like I know what I'm doing now. We're, as artists, always figuring things out, but I really didn't know what I was doing back then. I was just making a mess, getting out there, doing it. This was from an open studio. A friend of mine has an amazing studio here in Nashville where she like has workshops and classes and stuff. And then on most Fridays, she has an open studio with a model. I need to get back out there because I do enjoy it. It's called Studio 521. I remember feeling pretty intimidated. I think I had not been there in a long time, but I do like this. I really like that face right there. How that turned out. It can be so intimidating being, oh, that's noisy, sorry, with a group of people, a new group of people and painting, but it's so worth getting out there and doing those things. Okay, this is from a lake that I've gone to so many times. I haven't been back this summer. I really should get back out there. I think maybe the last time I painted there was with my niece, but I filmed the taking notes in the landscape class. In fact, I wonder if I did this during that class. I don't know, but we got tons of paintings from this location. And in the taking notes in the landscape class, I paint on location there and film the whole thing. I've got several paintings I've done from all these sketches from there that have sold, and it's been just a really great source of inspiration. This right here is a favorite of mine. I feel like I could make a print of this. All kinds of chunky stuff. This is from, oh, this says art group. I don't know why that says art group, because I do know that this is from, what is the name of this park? It's where the Parthenon is. Centennial Park, I think, but I'm not sure. But I love this. This kind of thing here in the background, like just looking at that makes me want to stop this video immediately and go paint. Okay, this one, These clouds. Sorry, like I kind of get, oh, I like these clouds. I like these rock areas down here. This is done with, it looks like ink, acrylic, soft pastel. Yeah, because my hands are, oh my goodness, my hands are so filthy from these pages. And this is up at the lake at our campground. I really like this. Again, this is when I was figuring things out and just really trying really hard to be abstract. And I just love the color, like little bits of color and stuff that I'm getting there in the water and the marks. Really nice to look back at this old work. Okay, this would have been done also when we were camping, but at a campground that's down the road from us. Oh, again, this just makes me so happy. Oh, these figures right here. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really like how I render stuff. Yeah, I like this. I think I could go do a painting from this right now and do it better because there's value issues. And I know that that's something I used to struggle with, but I love how I rendered these rocks and the sparkly water here. Definitely had some issues with like distance. That should have been a little bigger. That was a bridge in the background. So that bridge should have been bigger than that house, but you know, that's okay. It adds to the wonkiness, but the stuff that's going on here and then this guy right here, well, actually that whole thing makes me extremely happy. Okay, this is from this lake right here. Where is it? The one that I said yeah, this one. The reason I'm pointing that out is because I want you to see how different things can look going to the same place over and over. This is when I was there with my niece Hannah and we painted. In fact, I painted a big painting that I loved and I just did not want to sell it, so I gave it to my niece and my sister recently. Oh, just love it. Brings back so many memories too of being there with her. Okay, this is cracking me up. So this is of the lake at our campground. But these ducks, I do remember doing them and remembering like, oh, they look really, really big. Look at them compared to the dock. That's hysterical. But I like the movement of things that's going on back here. It's always fun when your art can give you a good laugh too. Okay, this one was done with soft pastels, inks, who knows what else. I know my hands are really dirty. I love this too. I feel like this could be a print. Look at how filthy that is. Wow. Can tell I didn't spray that with anything. I really should have a piece of paper in that. Oh well, in between that, but I guess it's held up okay. Okay. These owls crack me up too because, well, I like this guy right here. But this was a time when I was doing owls. I've always painted birds, but I've always had a hard time with owls. And now I feel like they're so easy to do. In fact, in my newest class, the painting birds class, we do a finished painting of an owl and then we turn it into a night scene. But the difference in these owls and that one is night and day. But you have to start someplace, you know. I think this is from our campground lake. I can tell that I was going to push this further and didn't. I can tell I gave up early on this. Ooh, this is moody. This is of that same lake. Ooh, I love these colors back here. I feel like there's some color inspiration. This was done, pretty sure, with ink and soft pastels, like wetting the soft pastels. In that class, taking notes from the landscape, I show how I do that using pastels, soft pastels, and wetting them to form paint, to make paint. Get really nice mark making. It's quite messy, but it's really fun. This is of that same lake. I cannot remember what this is from, but I like it. It's nice and moody. It looks like I've used acrylic and inks and soft pastels in it. feel like I did this on that camping trip. Yeah, because here's another one of that same lake. You can just tell how I keep pushing it and trying different things, using different colors. Some are more successful than others, but you don't know till you try. Here's that same lake. Again, trying all the different materials. I don't care for this one as much, but that's okay. It's good and messy. I can tell I had fun. I think this is of that same lake, and I can tell I was using collage material. I cannot remember. Is this of that same lake? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I feel like maybe, I don't know what this is, basically. It's definitely an abstract is what it is. Okay, this is on the camping trip, but at a lake, a different spot of a lake that we found. I remember this, going there with Grady. I really had a nice time painting here. I did several paintings. And again, I can tell I used acrylic, soft pastels, probably some ink. I haven't been back to that place, but looking at these makes me want to go back there. Oh yeah, I think I was visiting all the lakes that weekend because this is a different lake. I'm bragging about how big that lady is compared to some of this. Yeah, look, this thing was really big, and then, so she looks like a monster. That's hysterical. Well, you know, you can't always get that stuff right. And it does add to the wonkiness. That's funny. Forgotten about so many of these. Oh yeah, this is from Cheekwood Gardens here in Nashville. This was one of my earlier visits. Kind of surprised. Oh no, I painted this from a sketch that I did there. I was going to say, I'm surprised I took paint because you're not allowed to take paint, but I did sketches there, maybe with color pencil or oil pastels, and then did this painting from that. Yeah. Where do you live? I don't know what this is. It's very weird. I was obviously in a weird day, mood painting day. Sometimes I'm like that. I do some weird stuff. This is definitely up there. I can tell I've used everything. Oil pastels, paint. Okay, this is an Emma Carlisle Patreon session. No, I think this is inspired by that. No, maybe it is. It's from that. Yes, Emma Carlisle's. And that was really fun. I think I did this on a camping trip, pulled it up and watched it on a camping trip. That was really fun. Lots of like fun animals. I would do this quite different now than what I've done here, but I like it. I can tell I was probably struggling, wanting to be loose, but trying to figure out how to do things with the details that I was wanting to capture. It's interesting. I've taken this sketchbook a lot with me on camping trips. That's funny. Okay, I did a whole video on this, and I think it's called Granted Access. I got granted access to this property that's really close to our campground that is gorgeous. In fact, I did a really large painting from these sketches, and I'm about to paint over it, I think. Maybe I should show that painting to y'all here in case anybody wants to buy it, and you can buy it before I ruin it. It's a big one. Let me show you some details of it. It's got such great texture about it, and I love the mark making of the trees, the clouds, and the water. And then we've got some cows. So fun, very abstract cows. I need to sign it, and then it could be yours. So let me know if you're interested. Either email me from my website or message me on Instagram, because I think I'm about to paint over it. So this is all soft pastels, I can tell. This is an Emma Carlisle Patreon session where we were painting Trixie. Looks like I used watercolor and acrylic. Oh yeah, I used my limited watercolor palette and a limited palette with the acrylics. I think I was trying to see if I could tell a difference. I like how that turned out. I love this page right here too. This is from Centennial Park here in Nashville, where we have the Parthenon. And I took this sketchbook one day there. I paint there a lot from the same, I sit in the same spot under the same tree. And that dog, this lady and that dog and this, and these up here. All of that makes me so happy. I love the way I rendered those things. That statue there, that green statue. And then that dog, that makes me think of Cooper. It kind of looks like Cooper, doesn't it? Really fun, really fun. Okay, this is done on our Santa Fe trip. I started this painting and didn't get to finish it there because Grady called me and was like, hey, he had dropped me off at this painting location. And then he found some local jewelry makers there. I had been looking for that for like the whole trip, so I stopped everything and went there. And then I finished painting this from photographs. But at the beginning of next year, we're going to have a class. We filmed that entire trip, and it was just amazing. And I cannot wait to share that class with y'all. Then I shared this painting with y'all not long ago. This was painted me and my mom from an old family photo. And then this was painted really recently with a new friend of mine. She's in college and she's an artist, and I took her out painting with me. We recently went to a coffee shop, actually just yesterday, and she's my new painting buddy, and we had so much fun. I didn't get as much done here because I was doing a lot of talking and also demonstrating things to her. But man, this painting is just filled with all those memories of being there that day with her and the excitement we both had. Yeah, really wonderful. Okay, that's it. Ugh, that feels so good. It feels really good to finish this giant sketchbook. And it took me a while to finish because I moved more into like this size sketchbook for quite a while. I felt really comfortable with this, but then I was missing being able to make big marks. So then I got back into my big ones. And I'm always doing that, changing up and moving from like little bitty to jumbo mumbo. Jumbo, not jumbo mumbo, but jumbo. It was super fun for me to look back at all of this. I feel like I want to go paint now. I hope you want to go paint now after seeing that too. Really fun to see just a history of mark making and subjects and have it all documented here for me to just flip through. It's absolutely invaluable to me. Yeah, and it's really fun to share it with you guys. I hope that was inspiring. Whether you have the big sketchbook or not, it doesn't matter. Hope you see what it looks like to kind of work in a larger format. Don't forget, I'll have links below of the things that I mentioned. I'm excited about in 2 weeks when I see you because I've got a very fun, exciting adventure to share with you guys. So 2 weeks. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you'll get notified, and give it a like if you've enjoyed this video. But definitely subscribe and ring that belly thing because you're not going to want to miss next week's video. Bye. I don't know why I just did that, but anyways, bye. See you back here.